morning, everybody.
Good morning.
That's better than the reception I got from a funeral yesterday. I'm going to tell you that. I had to wake them up. Gosh, it's good to be back with all these guys. See friendly faces. I was saying to Larry and Kathy Riffle, I love the drive from Absecon to here. You know, it's so peaceful. And get a chance to go up to Leaf Point and see the gang up there, and it's a real blessing to be back with you and just kind of share with you things that are going on, and especially at the Atlantic City Rescue Mission, where I am the pastor and vice president of the mission. And there are a lot of years, and I just want to take the opportunity to share some things with you this morning that's on my heart. And someone the other day asked the question, why do you continue to do what you do with the mission? It's a good question, wasn't it? Why do you continue to do what you do? You know, I'm a firm believer of writing and in my Bible notes and stuff. If you could see this little Bible, I know it's real thick, but it's got at least 3 pounds of ink in it. And everything from quotes and all blank pages to poems and thoughts and prayers and messages to my children and my grandchildren, several of my great-grandchildren, and some prayers in the back and things. And I have about 6 of these, actually, that I'm going to give to them. When the Lord calls me home, they can have them, and perfectly, I hope all of you do the same and write your feelings and things that really strike you. But alluding to that question, I had a little quote in here that I wanted to share with you, because this is the reason why I continue to do what I do. It says, if I had no love for others, no desire to serve others, I should question whether Christ is really in my life at all. You know, every day, literally every day, I get to see some of the most saddest, hopeless eyes that will come to our doors. And there are people, and I always tell my staff that it's like Christmas every day. You know, packages come in every day. They're all wrapped up in different colors and shapes and sizes, and you never know what's inside them. And they all have a story. As you have a story. Everybody has a story. And you never know which chapter you're walking into when you meet somebody in that story. So I just wanted to share some things with you. And you know, naturally you want to share about good things that happen at the mission, and there are tremendous things happening there. As I was sharing with some of the folks earlier, you know, the devil never sleeps. You know that, right? You're aware of that, I'm sure. And I get to see the casualties of spiritual warfare every day. And what it has done to literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have come through our doors over these past 30 plus years that 35 years actually, that I've been affiliated with the mission. And, but there are some great stories, and I'll start with those. You know, we feed and house thousands of people a year. Hundreds of thousands of meals are literally served all year long there. And, but I want to share with you some good things that are happening, because we do have wonderful programs for alcohol and drugs, and we have Christian programs that it's kind of like Bible classes and such as, which I love to head up. And but I just want to share you a few things that have kind of happened recently. Then I want to talk about some other things as well. We had a gentleman come the other day, and kind of wandered into the mission, as a lot of them do. And it was, in fact, it was pretty late at night. And I imagine, I suppose, that he had been directed to the mission by someone out on the streets and by a passerby. And the guy looked kind of disheveled, and he was homeless. And one of our chaplains met the man, and of course immediately realized the man was suffering from some type of mental issue. And so we called law enforcement. This is how we work. We take care of the whole situations, because people are not able to take care of themselves in a lot of different ways. So we have to have a variety of ways of caring for various types of people. And an older gentleman, here we found he had been missing from his home. And he had dementia. And you can imagine the family. He just got on a bus and took off. Ended up in Atlantic City, and his family had no idea where he was. So we were able to find out a little more about him, and within about 24 hours, well actually several hours, after we found out a little more about him and could actually trace where he was, his brother came and got him. And lots of things happen like that. You know, they're just not all dealing with situations of alcoholism and drug addiction, such as things happen to people. Terrible things happen to people, but we're there to care for them. I guess about 2 weeks ago, a gentleman was around 70 years old, an older man. I have to be careful how I say that anymore. Looking back at 70, you know, so I have to be real careful how I say that anymore. Elderly man, you know. My wife Mary Beth says, "You are elderly." She reminds me all the time. But he had an extremely hard time walking. You can imagine these people out on the streets at that age. You know, fortunately, I consider myself at least halfway healthy. 73, you know, elderly man. But some of them are not. And some of them can barely get around. A while ago, I was going up the steps. I try to, you know, it's 4 flights of steps, so I try to walk up the steps to keep myself going. And a gentleman was walking up with me, and he was really taking his time going up. I said, "Come on, bud, this is good exercise for you." He looked at me and he said, "Well, when do you get my age? It won't be so easy." I said, "Well, how old are you?" He said, "I'm 62. I did remind him that he was a baby compared to me, but just a young man. But he had really real difficult time walking. He was living under the boards, you know, in Atlantic City, and his clothes were soiled, and of course he was dirt from top to bottom, and he really needed help. In fact, he was so bad with things, he needed help walking up the steps. I got a couple guys to help him get upstairs where we could get him showered and cleaned up and fresh clothing and such as. And really, it was like a new man. He couldn't believe someone would help him and care that much to help him. So he kept patting one of our chaplain's hands. He started to cry. Counselors worked with him and ultimately found him in housing. And that's what we do as well, in care services. So we take care of him. Another area in which, you know, we're seeing more and more of course, is younger people. As you know, the opioid problem is really getting bad. Heroin is still there. Addictions are bad, and then the kids are getting younger. Coming in at 18, 19, 20, where they used to be in their mid-30s on the average. Now they're coming in younger, and with lots of problems and difficulties. And I remember one who was an abused young person, Ryan. He came here actually just a few days ago, and 21-year-old kid. He was developmentally disabled. He was an abused child. He was put under care of, the protective services until he reached the what they call in other words, to be aged out of their care. And Ryan has struggled immensely in his life. Imagine at 21. Homeless, nowhere to go, no family. 21 years old. He had no plans, didn't know how to move forward. Mission counselors right now are working with Ryan, getting him help while he's safe, secure at the mission, where he can't be harmed and taken advantage of. A little earlier, actually a few years ago, we had a young fellow named Tim. Tim showed up the other day with some good news, great news. Tim was addicted to gambling years ago. He lost his home and his family, everything. Relationships suffered greatly. His friends. Where does he end up? He ends up homeless, as so many do. He was given shelter at the mission in the end of what we call our work readiness program. It's a 6-month program that deals with addictions. And it's very intense, Christian-based. And he graduated from that program, did very well, as a matter of fact. And in fact, at the end of the completion of his program, they go out and we actually do job search for them as well. He actually found a job at a funeral home. Well, as he comes back, he's now a licensed embalmer. Relationship with his family has been reunited. His wife and children come to know the Lord Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. It's most important. And he just came to visit the mission to just say thank you. Oftentimes we see people come in and we see people go out. I wish I could tell you if you were, they asked me, Pastor Bill, what's your success rate? One at a time. That's our success rate. I couldn't give you a percentage. I wish there were more. But sin afflicts so many people. I think of Dave Shower. Dave, many years ago, came with his dad. His dad was an alcoholic. His mom just left him, took off and left. His dad was a bad alcoholic. They lost their home, and they're out on the street. They came to the mission. I remember his dad well. And Dave was a young boy, about 10 years old. Today, Dave is the public relations man for the Philadelphia 76ers. He's come to know the Lord over the years and has done much to help the mission. In fact, he's come back and often told us how grateful because he will never forget the compassion and mercy and love that was shown he and his dad at the worst time of what he considered of his life. So, I mean, there are things that, you know, that we see that we just praise God about. You know, I can think of little Quan Do. He was Vietnamese. He was brought over here from Vietnam. Parents brought him over. They got away from Vietnam during the late, I guess, well, 70s somewhere. And got over to Florida. Quan was raised there. Quan had some injuries when he was a small child in Vietnam. And Quan has a hard time moving, and he's kind of hunched like this. Quan's parents died. No other relatives. Didn't know where to go. Someone was coming north. He got in the car and went with them, and they dropped him off and said goodbye. And he came to the mission. Quan was with us for 2 years. He went through our work readiness program, got the addiction straightened out, then he went into our Overcomers program. And that's a year program of intense biblical study. Where we really, and they have to have already received Christ as Savior through the work readiness program to be even eligible for our Overcomers program. Quan graduated the Overcomers program with flying colors. Quite the student. Always asking questions. Like that Larry Riffle years ago. He was asking questions. Hopefully he got some answers. And Larry's quite the student. And he's got Kathy to keep him where he should be. And Quan had since graduated, found a wonderful church up in Long Beach Island, where some people have just practically adopted him into their family. He's working in a nursing home and doing very, very well. I can go on and on. I think one more I think of, which Larry will really interest you, because we have a fellow that's with us, and he went through our work readiness program. He went through received the Lord, but there were some things that were a little here and there. So I sat down with him and talked with him, and his name is Mike Mayo, and Mike has a doctorate degree in astrophysics. And he looks it. He got that white hair with the ponytail, you know, that 70s hangover, you know. And he's brilliant. He taught at the University of North Dakota State. Anybody know who went to North Dakota State and now plays for the Eagles? Carson Wentz. And Mike was a professor there until, unfortunately, he and his wife were working out, and she had found someone else anyway, and she left him. He picked up the bottle. He lost his job. Went down to Texas with a friend, you know, or to a friend, hoping to get another position, and that didn't work out. He kept drinking and ended up over here. Mike ended up at the casinos, blew all the rest of his money, and as he tells it, there I am standing at the foot of the steps of a mission, a rescue mission, thinking, my God, literally, this is the way my life's going to end. Well, we worked with Mike. Mike and I had a lot of conversations. And the one problem that he had, he said, Pastor, he said, be honest with you, you know, I never talked it over with my colleagues, but I never felt there wasn't a God. I knew there had to be a creator. He said, but I had just one problem, the Bible, person of Jesus. I said, what was it? He said, the resurrection. He said, Pastor, do you know anybody that's resurrected? I said, well, let me introduce you to one. And then we began to talk, see, because this is the type of person that just didn't come in looking for help and this and that. He had other problems as well that we have to deal with. That you as Christians, it's not enough to know, and you hear me say this all the time, Larry probably recite it. It's not enough to know what you believe, you have to know why you believe what you believe. So you can contend for the faith that has been once for all delivered to the saints. There are people out there who need answers. There are people out there that have fantastic questions, and we have fantastic answers. So he and I went all through the evidences of the resurrection. And he kept saying, I never knew that. That makes sense. I never knew that. I never knew that. Finally, one day he came to me, he said, knocked on the upstairs door, and he said, you have just a moment? I said, of course. He sat down and he said, I believe. I never get tired of hearing that. Mike's doing real well. He's still with us. That may end up with that as a challenged position. He's doing that well. So there are wonderful things that are happening. But I don't necessarily want, and I don't want to bring it down because I usually try to keep this up, but I do want you to understand another area. And myself and my staff see every day the heartbrokenness, brokenness of people. Sin has trapped them so deeply, whether it's in addictions of drugs or alcohol, gambling, pornography, whatever you want to think of it, wherever, whatever goes on, family breakup, people coming in, never really had family to begin with. And I've seen death. And I want you to understand what my staff, and many of them have been there for over 20 years. We have at least 10 of our staff that have been 20, 25, over 30 years. And believe me, they don't make great pay. They're there because they were called. Like it says here, if I have no love for others, no desire to serve others, I should question whether Christ is really in my life. Christ is in the life of these wonderful, wonderful people who take care of men and women and children. We have little ones, moms who are abused and have been abused, are on our third floor. We keep there protected. We work with them, and our lady counselors work with them. Get them back on their feet and help them. Sometimes you watch terror, the frightened little faces of these little ones that come into the mission. A while back, I remember a lady came in, young woman, blonde, really attractive lady, and she had two little ones, and they were little towheads and like just cutest little things. And I guess the little girl was, maybe 7, 8, and the little boy had to be around 5. And I remember they were very nervous, and she had a nasty shiner. I mean, some living boyfriend must have hit her and really beat her up pretty bad. And she was looking for protection shelter. And so while we were waiting for the ladies director to come down and get her, I just happened to be down there, kind of cruising around. I like to call it MBWA, managing by walking around. They never know where I am, so I like to get out there and do all that. And I just wanted to make them feel a little comfortable. I could see they were frightened. And I remember, and I looked down and said, hi, sweetie, the little girl, and I looked down at the little fella, he was a cute little guy. And I looked down, and I was just going to tussle his hair, and hey, how you doing, And I reached my hand like this, and he went like this. I think how protected and loved my grandchildren are. course, they're never all grown other than the little one we adopt. My parent adopted. She's 5. Going on 15. What a handful. Love every second. And I think of my grandbabies, my great-grandbabies as well. Sheltered and cared for and loved in the church, the house of God. It's neat to have 4 generations in the house of God. But this poor little one, this is what happens. I remember what it was like to watch a lady who came in with several children, same kind of thing. And I remember it was Dyfus then, called that different name now. Dyfus then came in and took her children. And to this day, I can remember her running down Bacharach Boulevard behind that car, screaming, "Bring back my babies." I remember going in my office, shutting my door, and putting my head down at the desk and crying. People go through horrible things, but we're there to keep them and protect them and demonstrate love to them. You know, there's a lot of other organizations out there, and I'm not knocking any organizations. But without Christ and the changing, loving, powerful grace of God in the hearts of men and women, you're just putting Band-Aids on things. I'll go to a lot of different meetings, social service meetings, and various other organizations, you know, I'll go, my goodness, if you mention Jesus, they look at you like, you know, you can't say that. But I do. I know what it's like. I remember years ago, I used to be we have a street ministry where we go out and search for them. I used to be the street minister. And I would go out and, you know, one cold winter, it had to be around this time of the year. It was absolutely bitter. And going through the, you know, you go through the alleyways and wherever you're going to look for them, and that wind whips through, I'm telling you, it just rips through your body. But I got up to the boardwalk, and I knew sometimes they burrow underneath some of the piers, and they'll get under there. And I remember going under and looking for people, and I happened to see someone lying down, wrapped up, and of course there was a brown bag next to him. And I remember there's a code, you know, you have to be very careful how you approach people when you go under. You know, you don't touch them, and you make sure you're aware of your surroundings, and when you leave, you never turn this way and go out. I learned that lesson one day, many, many, many years ago, where they were doing a sweep, police, getting them out. And I remember going on there, and I couldn't get this guy, leave me alone, you know, stuff like that. So I said, all right, so I turned around, and I'm going out like this, with my back to him. And all of a sudden I hear a thud. I turned around like this, as I was just about coming out from on the board. The policeman had knocked down this guy who was wrestling with him, and on the sand was a carving knife this big. And he actually chastised me quite loudly. He said, "Pastor, you can't do that." He said, "He was that close to your kidneys." Lesson learned. So I approached this gentleman very carefully, and he didn't answer. I got a little closer, and I thought, you know, tried to, you know, he'd sleep, so I tried to wake him up, you know, verbally. But then he didn't move, and I'm watching his body, and there's no breathing. Finally, I realized I did touch him. That's what he felt like. He had frozen to death. I got a hold of the police, and they came, and when I remember looking at him, they were taking him away, we were waiting for an old man to die. That old man was only 56. I remember, again, sitting, I just plopped down in the sand. A friend of mine, a police officer, he's retired now, Bill Wentz, lives in Seacon. I was sitting there, and I remember the tears just coming down my eyes, thinking this man would die alone, no family, no loved ones, freeze to death. He said to me, "Bill, you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." I wasn't. I ended up doing that man's funeral. It was me, funeral director, and a social worker. That was all that showed up. All alone, empty of any kind of life, or love, or hope. I literally held two men when they took their last breath and dying with AIDS. Their last breath, they held. There's peculiar how, also, how the Lord showed me how a man will die. One who received Christ, Charlie, was a black gentleman, was from Delaware. Charlie was a gentle soul. He had AIDS from needles, heroin. Charlie received Jesus. And when we knew he was going, he was in our medical hold, and we had called the ambulance, and I was there with him. And Charlie, I remember, looked at me, and he had this small little smile. He held my hand, he heaved, closed his eyes, and went home to be with the Lord. The other gentleman, a few years later, wasn't a nice gentleman. He was ungrateful for everything, gave us trouble to no end, still prayed for him. He was very sick with AIDS. Came to the point, the same as Charlie. And I was there with him when he was taking his last breath, and it was a whole different story. He heaved, he twisted, turned, the anger, and you could see his fighting death until he took his last breath. I know what it is to see death. I know what it is to comfort a young chaplain who just started working with us. When he suddenly found a young 20-year-old boy wrapped around a toilet on our second floor. He had OD'd. Tried to narc him several times, couldn't bring the kid around. This young chaplain was not only bad enough to see a kid die like that. You know, we do everything we can to prevent them from bringing in any kind of narcotics or whatever. But you know, a lady asked me that one time. She said, "Pastor, my son needs help. You know, he's on drugs." He says, "Can he come?" I said, "Of course." She said, "Well, there's no drugs there, is there?" And I said, "Sweetie," I said, "I wish I could tell you that. They can get drugs in a maximum security prison. We do the best we can." This young fella, OD, that young chaplain, I had to comfort that young chaplain because that young chaplain was in uncontrollable tears telling me, "Pastor Bill, I tried to save him. I did the best I could. I did the best I could." I said, "I know you did. You did everything you could." It was a horrible experience for a young 25, 26-year-old to see someone die like that. We're right down there where it happens every day. This is why I love doing what I do. Because I know Christ really is in my life. And I'm compelled to do what I do. I've practically done every job there is to do at the mission over all these years. And I want to thank you, so many others who have volunteered there, given financially there, keep us going, because, you know, we don't take government funds. There are a lot of ministry groups out there that are doing all right because they take government funds, but they can't talk about Jesus. They can't, you take that cross up there, you can't have that, you can't have this Bible verse up here, you can't do this and that. That'll never happen in the next city reservation. Not allowed. So we depend on folks like yourself for financial support. I'm going to tell you something. Touch Dan Brown, our president, a while back, a lady. Dan comes into my office, and he's got tears running down his eyes. I said, oh my gosh, what's wrong? You know, he said, you got to look at this letter. I opened it up. There was a letter from a very elderly lady. She was in her early 90s. And on it, in this letter, were 4 quarters taped. And what she said was that she apologized. Her income is so low right now, and things are struggling, and she said, but I don't have a lot of money to give. I wanted to have you to have this. 4 quarters. The widow's mite, right? Yeah. So we both had a good cry. I'm telling you, I'm terrible anymore. My wife says, I cry at anything anymore. I'll cry at a Hallmark movie. I never used to watch Hallmark movies. That's how bad I get it, you know? Oh my gosh. We see it. It's not all just these wonderful stories, and I thank God there are. But we battle everything that Satan sends at us every day, over and over and over again. So I just wanted to share some of those things with you, let you know that God is with us. God has used us, continues to use the mission wonderfully. I'm so blessed to be there, do what I do. And I just can't even, somebody asked me the other day, Pastor Bill, when are you retiring? Let's see. I said, well, one of these days, you're going to read in the paper, perhaps. And I hear old Brother Warner passed away the other day at his mission, at the mission. He was 95. But we're there to serve the Lord by serving others. Men, young or old, women, young or old. Single women, we have single women are there. Whole section just for them, although we have 26 single women right now. 8 moms, I think it is right now, and 16 children. Over 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we never close our doors. That's because of you. And I especially cherish your prayer. Because Satan, you know, does his greatest work, not necessarily in the world. He has the world. He's the God of small g. Remember that? Of this world. The greatest work that he does, and his greatest attack, is right here, in the church. Because the church is the hope of the world. You are the hope of the world. You are his greatest enemy. Be sober, be very vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walks about seeking whom he may devour, not bite. Devour. Stay close to the Word. Stay close to the Lord in prayer, fellowship together. That's why I love that. And just in closing, that's why I love coming here. It's a breath of fresh air for me. I've spoken in big churches, and that's all wonderful, and they're good. I have wonderful friends in large number of churches. I wrote something on Facebook the other day about different, you know, listen, there's good and bad about big churches, and there's good and bad about small churches. Right? It's the difference we make. It's how healthy your church is. Your congregation needs to be healthy in the Word, in prayer, in fellowship, in service, the things of God. And you got a great pastor to lead you. Amen. So guys, thank you so much for just allowing me to come and share a little bit about what's going on at the mission. Again, I love coming. I love being with you. I'm going to love going to Leeds Point. And I know I've talked to him on the radio and all. It's always bad. That's preacher's prerogative, I guess. Go if you, when you're old, you know, people have to listen to you anyway. And then they complain you're so old you don't care about what they say anyway. So, but guys, thank you so much for allowing me to come and share with you. I love you guys, and God bless everyone.